This game got totally flipped on its head. It looked like you're dead in the water. Edmonton just rolling on, choo-choo, as usual, and then you come out with the best third period anyone has ever seen, and you steal that game back.
Everyone's thinking, typical Dallas game one all over again. And then you go up against a team with the best third period differential in the playoffs and hand them a -5.
Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast, brought to you by BetMGM. I'm your host, Dan Powers, alongside TJ Oshie, all the way from DC right now. It's almost midnight where he is. And then also to my left, a man who once tried to kill me when we were kids by jumping up and down on my back. I want to remember the people. I want to remind the people because you're a bad guy. Chris Powers.
As always, and that did happen. But hey, then it toughened you up, and then you were able to beat me.
I had to do it with Osh on the pod because I need him to know who we're dealing with.
You were able to beat me up. I made you stronger.
Oh, God, it's true. Osh, how we doing, dude? You're a ledge for staying up late with us here.
No, doing good. Just moving into obviously the off season here, and excited to be on with you boys. You guys are some of the best. I know we were texting during the game there. I feel like I turned my phone off for 10 minutes, get back on, and ours turned it around. So,
dude, I was about to say, like, we have to share that moment. We're all chatting about when to start, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna step away for a second, and then comes back and was like, what the fuck happened?
4-3,
3-1, and now it's 4-3.
I mean, I thought it was over.
Same, dude.
I was already like, it's over. Dallas is done.
Dude, I like made myself something to eat going into the third period. It's like, Oilers are up 3-1. You got these guys going into a third period with a 3-1 lead, and I'm like, okay, like this is toast. I'm like making myself dinner here in the office, and I turn around, 30 seconds goes by in the third, and it was 3-2, and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, you because we had the basketball game on, too, which was also chaotic.
Yeah.
And we were looking at that, and I went, oh, shit. And Dan thought I was looking at the basketball screen. He's like, what happened? And I'm like, Dallas scored, dude, over here. Look over this side. It was madness.
Insanity, dude. This whole thing is fucking out of control. So we'll get into all of that game. But, so we've got to do some of our not ice, which is just talking about non-hockey stuff before we start the show. And what we've been doing recently is informing everybody about the Diddy trial. How up to date are you? Because I feel like you are just out of the loop in the news circuit sometimes.
Dude, I have no idea what's going on in the world.
So she's like, what did he do, dude?
You mean Puff Daddy?
Yeah, dude. He is an out of control monster, and he's on trial right now.
Yeah, so no, I technically I go into some rabbit holes, and so I learned about this a while ago, but I feel like sometimes when things drag on, you're like, all right, I'm done with it until something real comes out and people start getting arrested.
And then you'll hear about it anyway. You know what I mean? You can easily tune out because anything big happens, it'll be online.
That's such a good strategy. I feel like I should start. I'm too invested.
I don't know why I'm spending hours poring over the live updates on the Diddy trial. Nothing fucking happens for 3 days in a row.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any updates for us?
No, not really.
There's nothing going on.
It's basically what we said last time where people, it's just a lot of like, I worked for him and he was a bad guy. They brought a psychologist in to be like, victims in domestic abuse relationships stay in the relationships too long. And I'm like, I know.
Okay.
I will say, though, some dude who worked for Diddy pled the fifth. And I'd never even seen that in real life. Like, I know that happens in TV all the time. It's like, I'm plead the fifth. Some dude was like, no. I was like, yes, dude, that's real? Holy shit.
I'm with Osh, though. Like I said it last episode, Osh, I was like, I need some serious drama or some serious info to come out. Otherwise, they're going to lose me.
Yeah. They've kind of already lost me, to be honest with you.
They get me for like 3 minutes. And if I can't sponge up the information in 3 minutes, I just have to move on. I have to swipe to something else.
Yeah.
Usually a golf video about how I suck and the pro golfers are really good.
Yeah. Ways to improve my swing, and then I go try it and I shank it into the net.
What's the swing fix we need, Osh? Where's the miss?
The swing's actually feeling pretty good.
Uh-oh. Which means the back's feeling good.
I've been struggling for a while. I was down to a 0.2.
Jesus Christ, dude.
When me and my wife first got together.
Yeah.
Not saying that has anything to do with it, but and so so I've been slowly like trying to figure out how I played the game back then and how my swing was. and I just found the last kind of missing piece, which was my takeaway used to be, very straight. And the reason I found this was listening to Rory McIlroy. I know no one wants to hear people talk about their own golf swing, but
no, they do. Actually, they do.
My takeaway was way on the inside, and I ended up coming over the top, which everyone says come over the top, and I'm like, I know I am, but I don't know why. Yeah, right. It was all my takeaway, and so I went to the range with the little man yesterday, and we hammered some balls and figured it out.
Wow. Dude, and also, by the way, I know you know this, but that's what worked for Tiger. Just watching his dad hit balls, like he imprinted on a good golf swing. So not only are you fixing your swing, but you're protecting generations of Oshies to make the PGA Tour. So this was a good investment.
I'm trying. I asked my little man the other day. Usually, if I ask him what he wants to be when he grows up, he's like he wants to drive a garbage truck or a train or very into trucks. Yep. And so I was like, hey, bud, do you want to be a pro hockey player like Pops, or do you want to be a pro golfer? And he was like, well, I feel like in golf you don't have to steal the puck away, and I'm not very good at stealing the puck, so maybe I'll just play golf. And I was like, all right, man, that's what you want to figure it out, fine. But
perfect. Golf or right wing works.
Yeah, that was a really interesting way to get there. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, he the better longevity,
amazing,
easier on the body.
Great choice.
Come on, the kid's smart. Kid's smart.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. He'll probably be driving a truck though.
Yeah,
he's really into trucks.
I love that for him, dude.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. This all sounds good. Moving from one trial to another possible trial. Osh, I prepped you for this. We're going to talk about something that's going on because growing up Patriots fans, it's hard to ignore what's happening to Bill Belichick.
Osh probably fired up, dude. He's a Seahawks fan. He loves this.
Yeah, I mean, it's like seeing the demise of a former enemy. It's a beautiful thing. But you know nothing about this situation, so we're going to fill you in. Basically, Bill Belichick has taken the job at UNC, which is insane already. He's like, how many wins away is he from Shula?
Good question.
But takes a head coaching job at UNC. And then also, in the past year, maybe more, he has started dating a 24-year-old girl named Jordan.
That's not a lie, dude. She's 24.
And he's like 77.
Yeah. And he's 13 wins away. Or 14 wins away.
And slowly and systematically, it appears that everything in Bill Belichick's life is unraveling at the seams. And tell us what just happened.
So this was what killed me, Osh. Because what I can't figure out is he's old and she is hot and young and he's rich, right? So I imagine she's like, I have a good life. Like I'm with Bill and, I have money to do things and that's awesome. And I suppose he is like, this is cool because I have this girl on my arm or whatever. But to me, it can't be much more than that. Transaction, which is fine,
dude. Like everyone, live your life.
Well,
live your life.
The Pats owner's been doing this with Instagram models since his beloved wife died for years. Like whatever, dude. It is what it is. But dude, Bill loves to sail. He has a boat and he takes it out to Nantucket and he loves it. And when he bought the boat, I think he had maybe 5 Super Bowl championships at the time. So he named the boat 5 Rings. Like it was a V and then it said Rings. And the R on ring, or like the leg of the R kind of swoops down and there's rings like up the leg. So there was 5 rings on it. And then the Pats won again. And he renamed the boat. He added a singular Roman numeral. So it's like 6 rings, 6 rings, 7 rings, 8 rings. Cause I think he has 2 with the Giants. He's up to 8 rings. So the boat's called 8 Rings. And dude, this weekend, Jordan, the 24-year-old and her cheerleading troupe won a championship in their competition, and he renamed the boat, adding another thing on it, and it's now 9 rings for Jordan's cheerleading competition, dude. That's his sacred boat for his Super Bowls, dude. What are we fucking talking about?
Dude, a cheerleading win getting added to the boat name was unexpected.
Oh my God, man. And there's rumors that they're engaged now. Which is like, I didn't believe it, but now I do believe it because he renamed the boat for her. And I think he's legitimately lost his mind.
Dude, and here's what I'm asking the two of you, Osh and CP. I need your answers. How, over under 2.5 years before we hear that Bill Belichick has mysteriously died. and Jordan is now, whatever her name is the head of a state.
If there's no prenup, he's dead. If there's no prenup, he's as good as dead. I'll tell you that much.
Man, that's I don't know. I mean, it's hard to even comment on it.
I know.
I will say, in general, guys are not smart.
Yep.
This is so painfully true.
Yep.
I will also say, in general, guys typically fall hard.
Also true.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. Just the good guy in me really hopes that like they actually,
they're in love.
Yeah. Now I don't know if you need to throw 9 rings on there.
Yeah, on the boat.
On the boat.
Like before the wedding, dude. Like
you
Jesus Christ.
I would have accepted the 9th ring for the engagement ring, dude,
Yeah.
more than the cheerleading title, for being honest.
Is there a chance, and I'm not even saying this is bad, I'm legitimately saying, is there a chance that she was, in another life, was providing a service that he paid for, and then they fell for each other, and now...
You're asking us if this is a Pretty Woman situation.
Yeah, is there a chance that we're in a Pretty Woman situation, and he was like, you know what, I like you, I'm just going to make you my wife, so I'm essentially paying you now you have a ton of money, and now you're with me permanently. Is there a chance? That's all I'm asking.
Yes.
I think that has to
Am
be
I
a
crazy,
chance.
Osh? Like, there's definitely a chance.
I mean, dude, I don't know. Like,
We're putting you on the spot here, I know.
Super uncomfortable talking about it. I hope to meet him one day. You know?
Same.
Like, he'll be like, oh, you're the guy that was dogging on my marriage.
Yeah, he's like, dude, that's the love of my life.
Actually, true. I have met him, so like this is.
Yeah,
this,
you have met him.
I'm in the clear here.
Yeah.
There you
Like
go.
I already had my shot. So.
Yeah.
Yep. But it was come back around now.
You
And then
know,
he'll say-
you're right. Maybe our spin on this is it's no one gets it. I think the thing that freaks me out the most is that she's been banned from UNC's facility.
Yes.
That makes me feel like there's something not great. But maybe it's actually, I think Osha's right here. This is the spin zone. He's just so in love.
Yep.
He's so in love that he's distracted when she's at the facility. That's all it is.
And guys in love grand gestures.
Yep.
And I can think of no grander gesture from Bill than renaming the boat.
Yeah.
So this is actually a sign and a testament to the true love that he is actually feeling. I'm okay with that.
I mean, I think I like to think that it's all the best intentions until
until proven differently.
And I mean, I know, like, if I go to the rink, like, I want to be ultra focused. Maybe Bill Bander. Like,
Whoa, dude.
Dude, what a take! You're
Whoa.
right. You're right.
He went to the brass and was like, "Hey, you got this is coming from me, but you got to make it look like it's coming from you."
He said, "I love her too much.
"This is big brain stuff.
I love her too much. I can't have her around. It's just distracting to me. How am I supposed to recruit?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to
Yeah.
recruit with Jordan walking around in a bikini in the North Carolina?
Why is
sun?
she in a bikini
It's
at the
hot,
facility?
North Carolina.
I mean, that's
I have a question. Is North Carolina going to be good?
Dude,
we were talking about that today. I have no idea. Like, I think that there's a world where I don't think there's any world where they're bad or worse than they were.
Yeah.
But
There's a chance
what do you
that-
think about this, Osh? Because we were just talking about this, about the recruiting aspect, which is such a huge part of college sports. I was saying that any college kid would go, oh my God, I have to go play for Bill because that's the way to the NFL. But then Dan made a good counter that was like, dude, these kids are 18 and Bill's like 77. And I don't know that that's who they want to go play for a few years. And I don't know the answer to that, but I do think whatever that answer is, we'll decide if they're good or not.
Yeah, maybe Jordan helps with the recruiting.
Would you, in more ways than one, would you, Osh, if you're an 18-year-old kid, do you want to go play for Belichick right now?
I think I'm not a big enough fan to know, does he develop players or does he just make good teams? So like when you go to college, right, your goal is to play NFL.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so those 4 years are like, you need to develop big time, right? And some coaches are really good at developing players and maybe they're great at coaching too. And some coaches are just really good at getting teams to win.
Fantastic.
I don't know if they go hand in hand or not, but
Fantastic question.
And I kind of feel like he's the latter.
I don't know. I actually think, how many examples do we have of guys on the Patriots in Bill's heyday who were elite and then they went somewhere else and they were awful. So I think Bill actually does have a good reputation of getting the best out of players, maybe some unknown players, some of those mid-round draft picks that all of a sudden become all pro.
Yeah, true.
So that could be a huge deal.
If he brings the UNC Tar Heels to a football national championship, I actually think that is a sick little tidbit on the resume at age 80.
it'd be phenomenal.
That's awesome.
It'd be phenomenal.
All right, so we're going with the good guy take here. They're in love.
It's true love.
This is just true love. She's not allowed at the games because he's trying to lock in, and it was a grand gesture. This turned into a great story.
They're going to win the Natty and have a beautiful wedding.
So we're all in on this.
I'm all in.
This is fantastic.
And Bill, I can't wait to meet you and discuss your love.
Yeah.
Let's go golfing.
Yeah.
Golfing, Bill.
Like this is
Hey, there's some great tracks down there too.
This is a fantastic foursome. Like we're gonna have a blast.
Yeah, but Jordan can't come because she's distracting.
Yes.
She cannot come golfing because she's distracting.
I'll talk about the course.
Yeah.
I'll go through the course for it, but
All right, let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsors, and then get into some hockey talk.
As you know, we have the greatest deal on earth with BetMGM, and I want you to be a part of it. I want you to just take it and hold it in your hands and caress it and enjoy it with me. What you need to do is you download the BetMGM app, and when you do that, you use promo code NETTERS. That is NETTERS. And then so many good things happen to you, I can't even wrap my head around it, okay? They have so many epic promotions. One of them is the Hat Trick Jackpot. All you have to do is bet on an anytime goal scorer during the playoffs. Bet on an anytime goal scorer to score a goal during that game. If they score, you have won your bet, and you will receive money from BetMGM, and it will go into your account, and that's awesome. And congratulations, that's a great bet, and you're a genius. If they score a hat trick, 3 or more, they could score more than 3, but if they score a hat trick, which have been firing in the playoffs, by the way. You think playoffs, nobody's scoring hat tricks. Rantanen scores a hat trick every game. Granny's getting hatties. Dallas Stars, they should be the Dallas Hatties. Okay, so if your anytime goal scorer scores a hattie, you get your share of 10 G's in bonus bets. What? That's outrageous. And by signing up and using promo code NETTERS, if your first bet loses, you can get up to $1,500 in bonus bets. So you're winning no matter what happens, basically. Bet on an anytime goal scorer. They score, you win. They get a hattie, you win. They don't score, you still win because it gets put back in your account. It's unbelievable. So download the BetMGM app today and use promo code NETTERS. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY for New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
What a fucking game.
Holy shit.
What a game. I mean, like we said in the beginning, we all checked out, thought that was over. But before we get into the crazy comeback from Dallas, we were saying it early watching the game. How fucking good is this Oilers team when they're buzzing, and Connor and Leon specifically? It's like Leon gets the first goal, Connor sets up the second on the peeper. It's like these guys are out of control.
They're so good. I mean, Draisaitl, from when you're in the East, you don't necessarily watch. You don't get to see the teams in the West a whole bunch, and so I've only played against him a couple times. And he was really good in those games, but you see, the point leaders, and you see like, geez, this guy just keeps getting points. And when you don't play against him a lot, you're like, well, I mean, I get points too if I play with McDavid, But then, obviously, just recently, I've really started actually watching hockey a little bit, and I'm like, man, this guy is good. He is actually really nasty. And but I mean, McDavid is. I mean, he's not even remotely close. He's the best player I've ever seen, ever, or played against.
Yep.
It's literally not even close, I don't think.
What happens when you're playing against him and you're on the ice? Is it obviously you're aware when he's on the ice, but is it hard to not just gang tackle 5 guys at him? Is it hard to do your job when he's over there because you're like, my defenseman's on an island? How do you team defend a Connor McDavid?
I mean, you just somehow try to keep him out of the middle of the ice somehow. Yeah. And the problem is he's so fast. So it's like if you're running into a fight with a machine gun and all of a sudden a tank comes around the corner, you're like, well, fuck. I'm just going to retreat back to the bunker and I'll see you there.
I got my gun's jammed. My gun's jammed.
Yeah.
Dude, that's when everyone looks like they're on roller skates, just going back. It's like, fuck, get back as fast as possible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, how many defensemen do you know that literally when someone gets the puck, they just turn around and start skating full speed backwards to get some speed and then turn around. Like when he gets the puck, you just can't contain him. And what was most impressive to me is the first time that we played him, he's coming down the wall. I had him lined up, and in my mind, I'm like, all right, he's really skilled, he's super fast. He's probably not going to be super strong on his skates too. And so I leaned into him so that there was no room for him to go by, and that he would just run into me, and I would just, even if he knocked me back a little, you brace yourself and you at least stop his momentum. And he just blew straight through my shoulder and took my stick with me, and he's going this way. I'm facing the wall.
Yeah, you're spinning like a top.
And I was like, wait a second, he's strong too? He's fast, really good at stick handling, really good at passing, shooting, and super smart, and now he's strong. So I was like, Jesus, this guy's the real deal.
It's not fair, man.
It's
and
crazy,
I have a question for you. Before not literally right before the game, but yesterday, Otter gave an interview where he said, he was like, when it's all said and done, McDavid is going to be the greatest player of all time. Not of the era, literally, there's a new Wayne Gretzky. His name is Connor McDavid. The day before playing him in a playoff game, is that next level head game, or is that just whatever, dude, respect? I'm telling it how I see it.
I think it's straight respect. I mean, I don't think in hockey, I think there's too much of a respect between players to throw a head game, thing like that. But listen, I think Wayne is I don't think anyone will ever be better than him. I mean, you see the numbers that he did. Ridiculous. And how smart he was for.
Yeah, dude, so underrated.
And he didn't have the training that we have now. You know what I mean? So it's almost like the Jordan thing. He was it's just eras. It's different eras, different. But I don't think anyone's more exciting to watch than Connor McDavid.
I think it's so true. And it goes into, you're doing it right now. I've just never seen the way his peers, guys in the league, constantly talk about him. Elite NHL players like you, and just being this fucking guy is on another planet, and it doesn't make sense. And I actually, going back to what you said earlier, man, I will never stop talking about Draisaitl. He's consistently up against that, he plays with Connor. Uh-huh. These playoffs, I don't know what it's been. Maybe I'm watching them a little bit more closely than usual. I don't think I've ever seen anyone with his size and strength on the puck and how smooth he is, how good his hands are, how good his vision is, how good his passing is. I genuinely don't know how you knock that fucking guy off the puck.
Yeah, so
it's
true.
Crazy. He enters the zone with the puck on his stick, and I'm like, who's taking that from him?
And we're kind of going to get to this later, but it makes their power play so unfair to me. But it's actually struggling right now, which is what we're going to talk about. But it's so crazy that I'm like, how do you get a zone entry these days when the whole team's stacked on the blue line? And it's we have Connor and Leon, and one of them can go 1,000,000 miles an hour, or one of them can just shield you off the puck, and then we're in and set up.
Yeah,
I feel like every power play, even if they don't score, they have it for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's obviously they get that the steal / Sagan goal, but you're up one with. What was there, 5+ minutes left, maybe more, and it's just I don't think anyone can feel comfortable against that team. It does when Connor gets going through the middle, like you said, Osh. It feels like they're on a power play.
Yeah, it's so true.
It's fucking crazy.
Hey, Osh, the going into the third, I saw this stat come up. I don't know if you saw it. It was their intermission. It was it's the Dutchy line with Robo, and they were they're a -25 coming into this game, and they're a -6 in this game. That's when it was 3-1. And Robo's done. Dutchy hadn't scored. Robo hadn't scored. And I was like, man, dude, that is not it. If you're Dallas, where are you at on mixing lines up during playoffs? Because as a fan, I always hated it. Because I was like, dude, let them fucking go. They were good all year. But do you need a jumble sometimes?
I think you do if you're down 3-1.
Yeah, sure.
You won the first game, you lose 3 in a row or something. But no, you can't. You kind of got to let it ride out, and you can adjust a little bit with ice time. You can bring ice time down a little bit, and kind of get in their head hey, if you want to play, we have to trust
right.
You. We have to trust that when you're on the ice, they're not going to put 2 in the net. That
right.
One happens sometimes. I'm not a big fan of the plus minus thing. because
you were always out with the goalie pull.
yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of the plus minus, but I mean, minus 25 is a big number, right? So
yeah, fuck.
But no, it's sometimes it's better to let them stick together and like let them grind through a little bit. Sometimes it makes them better, or maybe you just move one guy out just for like a game or a period, and then put them back together because the line obviously works, right? They're good players.
Yeah,
they clearly have chemistry together. Sometimes you just need like even just the last 10 minutes of a period. Like, hey, all right, we're gonna if one of them's struggling more than the other, we're gonna move you up actually on a better line.
Yeah, sure. We're
gonna give you a little confidence here. Go play with these guys, and then move them back. But switching up, I think it sends the wrong message to the players. Like, hey, you guys don't work. We can't.
Yeah. And dude, like you said, I always kind of get rattled for the second line. Let's call it second line, who's actually going good, and then you're like, hey, your line's getting broken up because we got to get the third line going. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I was going fine, dude.
It sucks. I know it sucks. It sucks, man. But if you find if you want to win, and you're a good player, and you're like, hey, if this is what's going to make the team win, I'll go play with a different line for a little bit and just hopefully you move me back. But
yeah. Gotta get that in writing. I do need to go back.
What are you two seeing in this series? Obviously, we just saw game one, huge win at home for Dallas, but all three of us were talking, and I feel like you popped on Twitter today, and the whole hockey world was talking. Dallas notoriously bad in game one of series. They start slow, so going into that third, you saw a lot of Dallas people not making excuses, but being like, this is Dallas. This is first period Dallas. But we were all talking, we were like, shit, they look a little outmatched here. And then completely flipped the script of that third period.
Yeah, who do you... I guess I have two questions, but do you feel, coming out of that game, Oshie, if you're the Oilers, you kind of feel like you just got rinsed on a bunch of power plays in the third, and you're like, whatever, boys, we played a great road game. Yeah. Is that how you feel, or are you like, we woke Dallas up?
Yeah, no, so I'll go back to game one in Vegas when we won.
Yeah.
We lost, it was something crazy. Like, we might have lost 6-5 maybe. It's stupid that I don't remember what the score was, but
I actually love that. It's the loss. Fuck that.
No, it's like you black out. Yeah. Like I don't hate that.
Whatever it was.
I'll find out.
And it was, and literally after the game, we immediately said, I think I might have said, or one of the guys might have said, and we were just like, guys, we just lost by 1 goal and we sucked.
Yeah.
We played terrible. So like, if we just stay with our game like we have the whole playoffs, and then we'll be just fine. And so I think Edmonton, the worst thing they could do is come out next game and show too much emotion, be too all over the place. What I always look for is the best way to tell if a team I think is going to win a series is if you look at their bench when things are going bad.
Love this.
I love this.
So if guys are yapping each other, yelling at each other, immediately I'd be like, they're done. They might find a way to sneak out of like this series, but they're not going to win the whole thing. And if that's in this finals, they're definitely not going to win.
Dude, this is jumping ahead to a topic we're going to get to later, but
every Toronto Maple Leafs fan who just heard that just cried.
I was right about to ask you that. I don't know if you saw that Leafs Game 7, but they were like fucking screaming at each other. Berube screaming at everybody. That to me, and I think maybe to you, reads like too much. Or I'm like, dude, play your game. Calm down. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. We were. It was game two. We won that game, and they were. Vegas's bench they were already coming off the ice, screaming at forward was yelling at a D.
Yeah.
And I immediately saw and went down the bench and boys, they're already yelling at each other. It's only game 2 and they won game 1.
Yep. Yeah. Right.
I literally was like, they won't win another game if we just stay like this.
Fucking they didn't.
And dude. So if you look at the other bench and things are going bad and the guys are just sitting there ready to rock and just go out for their next shift, you're gonna be throw some money on it because they're
it's done.
They're locked in. They don't care. They don't care what happens, good, bad. They're just doing their job. Everyone pulls a rope.
That's big time insight. That's like finding someone's tell and playing cards. You know,
right.
If they start bugging out, you got to start feeling good. But that is the thing that I've got in my head right now. It's all playoffs, Oshie, I've been like, what the fuck is this Edmonton team doing to their opponents? Because they get people off their game. You saw it in LA after game 2, in game 3 with the coach's challenge, whatever. But you just saw a difference in the way LA was playing. You saw it in Vegas. And I think I've realized it's panic.
Yeah.
I think when these teams start seeing those guys get going, and it's not just the 2 big boys, it's everyone. When Bouchard's going, when Hyman starts hitting people, Nuge is going, the panic sets in of, oh shit, are we about to get this inevitable Oilers team? And guys just start getting off their game. That definitely happened to Dallas here. Definitely did.
In the first 2 periods.
Yeah. Second period was just, it felt like they weren't doing anything right. They were completely all over the place. And then that third period starts, and 30 seconds in, DeBoer, someone, who knows, maybe it's Ben, but they clearly just settled themselves down and got back to playing their game. And the only way I think you can beat this Oilers team is if you just don't get rattled. Don't get in your head about who you're playing. But on the other side of that is, this Oilers team, I don't see this Oilers team starting to yell at each other. So it's going to be it's going to be a chess match if you're going to beat this team. I think of, you just have to stay composed, because I don't see the Oilers getting uncomposed, if that makes sense.
It does. It makes perfect sense. And Osh, if you in a series, because we were talking before the game last year in this exact matchup, I forget the exact stat, but Dallas was like 0 for 21 on the power play against the Oilers last year. And we were saying, like, if that happens again, you're fucked, and you got to score a power play goal. And then they scored 3 of them, right, in the third period. I think all 3 of those were power plays before the Sam Steele, or before the Sagan one.
In this game, I think, they were 3 for 4 on the power play.
So all 3 power play goals in the third period.
Well, no, their first power play did not go in.
They did.
You say
it did?
No,
they had extended into the third period, and they scored a power play goal.
But didn't they get a peeper in the first period? And
they missed their first one. They scored 3 power play goals in the third period.
Yes, correct.
So is there, if you're the Oilers team, is like in playoffs, we always talk like you guys barely practice. You're just going, getting ready, getting recovered for the next game. But are you like, we need to make a penalty kill adjustment, or do you just kind of wash that one bad game and we trust our unit?
No, it depends on how the goals are scored, but typically the thing that I love about playoffs is, in the regular season, you see we see Pittsburgh one night, and so we do the pre-scout on them, and then we see the Rangers the next night, and then you get a new pre-scout, and it's a completely different penalty kill. Typically, everyone kind of plays OB similar, but other than that, it's different personnel, different everything.
Every team is like, you get this scouting report, everyone's like, they just put a guy on OB, and I'm like,
They put a guy on OB and then play 3-on-4 on the other side.
Crazy.
All right, got it.
Cool. Sounds good.
But in a playoff series, it's almost like a chess match, right? You do one thing, one team has success. Now you know that the other penalty kill is probably going to change something up in one way or another. So then you kind of tweak your game to what you think they're going to do.
Yeah, fuck.
And then it's just like this little mental war, like all like these little games within a game. Power play versus PK, 5-on-5 versus 5-on-5, set breakout versus set forecheck. And all these things, you just kind of keep going, and eventually, typically it's going to get shut off at some point. They're going to find a way to kind of shut something off, and then you got to turn something else on. And so that's why playoffs are so fun to play in, because it's like these little, almost like in a shootout with me against Bob, like these little mental things going back and forth, and they're not big adjustments; they're just little ones, but they make a big difference when it comes to, obviously a playoff series. And,
how quick do you hate the other team? Like immediately?
Oh, it's pretty quick.
Yeah,
I mean,
first period,
especially. A round 1 exit, because round 1 is just mayhem. Like, everyone's fresh.
Yep.
If you're hurt at the end of the season, your team's going to be in playoffs, you get to sit out the last couple of games and make sure your body's ready to go.
Yep.
By this stage, it's kind of like everyone's hurt. Everyone's tired. Now you're just trying to win. And so I think there's a little, maybe there's not, I don't know, but as much hatred, but something about that round 1 exit, like, finally made the playoffs and then you lose, and you're like, I hate Carolina for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So So, same with like when we lost to whatever. But that's how it goes for me.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's so good.
Dude, you can see it, man. And I was actually talking about this today. I love how in the handshake line, too, it's like you watch guys motherfuck each other all series long, and then the handshake line is like, hey, go win it for me, man. And you're like,
Yeah.
what is going on here? But I do like the idea. It's like a movie scene of two bloody, destroyed people trying to beat the hell out of each other. It's just, that's what it is by round 3.
Oh
truly.
my God, dude.
It's like you're watching guy. I think Hyman blocked a shot above his knee today and he dropped like a sack of potatoes, and it wasn't like, oh, he's milking it. It's like, I bet he's in so much pain.
It was
right
a
now.
tricidal hammer.
Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ, the guy's taking shrapnel out here.
Another reason, sorry, I'm going to go back a couple topics. Another reason you're so tired at this point that if you're wasting all your energy yelling at each other or yelling at the refs, teams that like really get on the refs, like you don't have that much energy. Yeah, you have a day between games and you're sitting in a hotel all day or whatever you're doing. But like you're still tired when you get to the game. So
Yeah.
just all that extra energy is just wasted.
Yeah, so much better used in the third period than screaming at Wes in the first period.
Conserve fuel, man.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. I know we were bopping all around. The common take right now online is Oilers fans being frustrated with the officiating, and I always get a little wishy-washy on that. A big one was the Duchesne high stick that just it clearly hits him in the face. Like I don't know what you want. I mean, you know how those go. It's like sometimes it's not intentional. It's a missed stick lift and you catch a guy in the chin or the cheek and it sucks, but it's a penalty. And at the end of the day, does Dallas have 3 power play goals? Sure. But they were 3 for 4. Edmonton was 1 for 3. It's not like it was crazy lopsided. So the special teams in this series is obviously going to be very important. And if you're Dallas, you can't expect to go 75% every single game.
No.
But at the same time, it's like, if you're Dallas, that win's got to feel great. You do not want to drop that one at home and then you win with a really solid punch to the mouth in the third period. How much of that confidence do you think rolls through to game 2?
Yeah, Oshie, I guess another way to put it too is if you've ever, imagine in your long career you did, if you ever lost the game 1 at home, does it make game 2 like monumental in the room for the boys? Because you're like, Christ, guys, we can't dump both these.
Yeah. It's I think we might have actually went down 2-0 to Columbus when we won.
Oh, dude, I think you're right, bro. 100%. Let me check that, but I think you're right.
Like 3 overtime games in a row, I think.
Yeah.
The first 2, I think we won the third. But yeah, you lose that first one at home, it's tough because typically home ice is, it's super important in playoffs. For whatever reason, I think we actually might have had a better record on the road when we won the cup
That year? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
That's
you
actually
certainly
epic.
did, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's, it makes you a little more antsy for sure. Game 2.
Yeah.
It all comes down to the way you lose too. If it's if you had a good game and just whatever, and then on the refs too, it took me not too long in my career to realize that like, hey, these refs are like, they're people. Right. Yeah. And so like, the more that I scream at you, the more you're probably going to hate me and never give me the
penalty. Yeah, exactly.
And so I made it a point, and I'd always tell the team video coaches, like, hey, when you put up the lineups, can you put the refs' names up there too?
Oh, sick.
So that when it's on the TV all game, and so at any time, and I tell players, like, hey, especially young guys, learn their names, look at their numbers, learn their names. I think a couple teams actually put a piece of tape on the boards with their names and numbers
on the bench?
Smart.
On the bench.
Yeah, that's
so
very fucking smart.
Human being, you know what I mean? You can go up and be like, hey, Rooney.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's doing okay, by the way.
Yeah, he is. He is. He checks out.
Confirmed.
Yeah, okay.
He's all good.
Good. Rooney, what the heck, man? Like, the guy just got me in the teeth.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And they'll be honest and be like, oh, I didn't see it, man. I'm sorry. I'll try to get it back for you. Or whatever it is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I know the refs that are at this stage, they definitely don't want the spotlight on them. And so more times than not, they're going to try to even it up 4-on-4 if they can. Or if there's a call, they'll be looking extra for a call to just even things. They don't want to be the deciding factor for sure.
Dude, we were actually talking to Runes once, and we were headed into a big playoff game, and we said to him, what I think it was in Vegas or no, it was last year, but it was like heading into a big game and he was reffing. We were like, what are you hoping for tomorrow? As in like, what kind of a game? He's obviously not rooting for anybody.
Yeah.
And he goes, I hope that there's not a single penalty in the entire game. Cause he was just like, I don't want to make a call. I don't want to have to, make a call that possibly dictates the game. And I have never felt a more universal thing. I was like, oh yeah, that everyone would feel that way if they were a referee. That's so funny.
Absolutely. They love the game, right? And they just want the best team to win, and or whoever's supposed to win or whatever. But I mean, I've dug into a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, heat of the moment, dude. Heat of the moment.
Too. I'm human too.
So. We're all human, dude. We're all human.
Yeah. Oshie, you talk about how you win matters or how you lose matters in the playoffs, right? Is Dallas being down 3-1 in game one at home against a team that was a playoff best +10 in the third period, and then handing Edmonton a -5 in the third? Is that win almost even better than just having been up all game? Because you're like, boys, they chink in their armor. We can beat them. We can come back. They're not that tough. Does that matter, or is it kind of just like, fuck it, a win's a win, and we're on to game two?
I think it brings your momentum into game two. So momentum's everything in playoffs, right? Like one goal here and there, and it's like, so it's. I think the game two, I think, is gonna, like, the first period. If Dallas comes out and they're still buzzing and they get a couple in, I mean, I'm gonna like their chances.
Yeah.
If they're still buzzing and Edmonton holds them off, and it's like
kind
a
of swings
0-0,
back.
1-1.
Yeah.
When you're going and you're feeling good and you're buzzing, momentum's on your side, and you still can't like score a goal, eventually you're like, what else can I do?
Yeah. And it starts to creep in, like, we should be up. I hate that feeling.
We should be, yeah. Which is, you should never think. You should just, delete the last shift, go to the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
It should be like a robot machine out there.
Dude, that's so accurate. But I'm telling you guys, this Oilers team, you could say the same thing about the Panthers. The Panthers are, Matthew Tkachuk said it. He was like, we are built to wear teams down in a 7-game series. And you also see, I don't know if you've seen that clip, Osh or UCP, but it's Bennett and Verhaeghe on the bench after beating Toronto. It's like the game's not even over. And Bennett just says something. He's like, "Oh, that feels good, eh?" And like Verhaeghe was like, "Yeah, I wasn't done playing hockey." And they're like, "I got at least a month left of me." And they just look so relaxed. And it makes sense. These are the two teams that went to the final last year, but we saw it against LA. I think the confidence the Oilers have going back to Rogers, going to that goddamn barn, is so high. And they've done it. They've been down 0-2 in these playoffs and come back and won 4 straight and won a series. So it's based on what we've seen. Again, how this Oilers team plays against the Kings, then against Vegas. I think there's pressure on Dallas to be like, even if they win game 2, I think there's pressure on them to be like, don't let up at all. And don't let anything that happens mess with us mentally. Yeah. Like you're saying, I think that this series, more than the Carolina Hurricanes, more than the Florida Panthers, more than, frankly, anyone that has played this series right now, Dallas's mentality needs to be so much delete what just happened, even if it's a win, and go on to the next shift, to the next game, etc. Because, robot brain. Because it's like, I think this Oilers team is just so capable of letting nothing mess with them. It's horrifying.
The job is just one in Dallas, right? If you're Edmonton, it's like literally just to kind of get one game.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. If you can go on the road and get one game, you're laughing on the way home.
Yeah. What about Skinner, Osh? Like, he obviously got yanked, right? And then Pickard goes in, and then Skinner comes back because Pickard's hurt. 2 straight shutouts. He gave up 5 tonight because the last one was empty netter. Yep. He gave up 5 tonight, but to me, none of those are really on him that badly. A lot of power play goals, whatever. Is that how you saw it too, or are you worried? If you're an Edmonton fan, are you like, fuck, we don't know what we have in goal?
Goalie, I think is for sure. Actually, not. I think is 100% the most valuable player on the team.
Yeah,
in playoffs. It just is. So, there's a couple screen goals in there. I'm not a goalie guy. I don't know if he has to work harder to get around.
They all look tough to me, dude. I'm like, wow, that's a sick shot.
Yeah. So no, I think you put your trust in your guy and you ride with him unless you can't anymore. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think so too. Like, I think he's staying in the net.
Goalie's confidence is way more fragile, I feel like, than a player's, because so much rides on you and your reads and your eyes and what you see and being able to make the big saves. And so I think yanking him and then maybe Pickard not working out and then having to throw him back in at this stage, I think might be
little risky, dude, because I'm with you. I think it's his head, right? Because I think they definitely go with Skinner in game 2, but I'm just worried about up here with Stu, where he's like, even if we all agree those weren't really his fault, he's like, well, there goes 5 past me again. Like, every game he's played, he's either had a shutout or given up 5 goals. And I'm like, dude, it's like, I don't need that for his mental health. yeah, exactly. Stu, just 4 more shutouts, baby. We're right there.
Well, and we'll be fine. And we'll be just fine.
Dude, and then how about that? We were talking on text, but that last one, which I think was technically Sagan's goal, but that play by Sam Steele on that 2-on-1, the poise, dude, that was nasty.
So nasty.
It was great. I mean, like I said in the text, like I don't follow a lot of. I didn't play last year, and then obviously guys in the West too. And I was like, man, who is this guy? Like, that was a great play. A lot of speed, poise to pull it over. I don't know if it was going in or not. It looked like it was going right under the bar.
Yeah, Sags thief.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, dude, that's a playoff goal, pal.
Great hand-eye, though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
But that was a nice goal.
Dude, I was expecting.
That was nasty.
Because that's Sagan going down the wing. So I was expecting a pass or, at the very least, a just shot low pad to be like, hopefully I'll kick the rebound out to him. And to drag it middle backhand, I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
You just had so much to think about, too, with the guy on his back, too, right?
Yeah.
So to be able to make that play, maybe not the right back check. I'm not sure who's coming back, but just a phenomenal play.
It was gross. I was just looking up because I was curious. I was curious how many times these playoffs Edmonton has been up and then given up a lead.
Ooh.
And I was about to be like, I don't think they have once, but they did it once against LA.
And once against Vegas, right?
And then once against Vegas.
Yeah.
And in that insane game.
But that barely counts because Draisaitl put it in his own net.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, it does. There's just so much about this game from Dallas. It's like getting your power play going when it was your Achilles heel last year, being down, feeling like you're dead, not on your game, coming back and winning so emphatically.
Yeah.
It's like there is so much to feel good about if you're Dallas, but it's so much of this. It's so much of you can't let up. You can't let up. It's crazy.
Osh, a couple things on the Caps. We had talked in while you guys were in that series with the Canes about a couple slow starts for you guys in Carolina. And we were like, God, you got to have better first period. And then I actually thought in Washington, you did. I did think you swung that first period. Maybe not getting the leads like you were talking about to swing the momentum. But was there anything that you felt like from watching that you're like, God, we just didn't do blank? Like, this is why we couldn't bother them to make that swing? Or what were you seeing?
Yeah, I think maybe just not consistent enough on the little plays. Carolina brings so much pressure, right? And
crazy, dude.
So many pucks. And sometimes when they do that, you feel like you want to make long plays and get the puck, like just get it out of there. The problem is they just grab it, turn around, and do it again.
Yeah, correct.
And so I think the little close support and almost inviting their pressure, being like, oh, you want to come to me? All right, come on over here.
Yep.
And making a little play.
3-foot pass.
And then sucking in a second guy. Now you got 2 beat with 2 small plays. And then if they're D on a pinch on the last one, it's 3-on-2 the other way.
Right.
And so maybe you don't get a 3-on-2 every time, but the forecheckers, the more that they have to forecheck and they still see the puck go by them and get out of the zone, eventually they're gonna change something up. They're gonna start guessing one side or another. They're gonna get themselves in a bad position. So sometimes you got to be patient with that. When teams have pressure a lot, you feel like you got to play really fast and go faster than they are. But that's kind of just their game. Whereas the Caps are more of a puck possession, wait for the right shot, get the puck to the middle of the ice kind of team. So I think they could have done a little bit better job there. But Carolina's a good team.
Oh, dude, they looked next level in that series, especially. And you're so right, dude. They want the track meet. They're like, yeah, fine. You want to be pond hockey? Sounds good. Whereas, and once you start playing that way against them, really in the East, I would say literally only Florida can skate with them. So it's like, and maybe that's going to cause them trouble in this round.
Yeah.
But getting sucked into that type of game is a killer against that team right now.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes when you see like shot coming at you, it almost can like rattle you a little bit. You know, you think that even if they're outside shots and they're nothing to them, you know, and one of the philosophies behind like teams that shoot a lot is because once you shoot, all the defenders have to turn towards their net, and chances are you're going to get the loose pucks, and then you just keep doing it until they get out of position, and then you can make a play. Or you get bounces, and you know playoff goals are usually dirty, but
goals ricocheting on everybody this year.
And dude, in like the postseason, it's like I feel even in the first period, you're holding your breath all the time. Every goal matters so much, and you feel it in the arena too. It's like, you know, if you're home and you get scored on, everyone feels how deflating that is. But it's like, you know, just talking about what you guys, you know, maybe could have done better or weren't able to do against this tough team. You're right, Carolina's good, and they're constantly overlooked. But you then see that game against Florida, and it's like, it does feel like it's the biggest test for them for sure. Florida's so good. And you wonder, man, like, do you think with the track record that Rod has in the Eastern Conference Final, this team's history against Florida, do you think that this series has going the distance in it, or do you think Florida is just too good?
I think Carolina has to break Florida's belief somehow.
Yeah,
right?
Great comment.
They believe that they're they are the champions, and they have that belief system. So you got to do something that's going to break that and get them second guessing what they're going to do. I don't think you're going to be able to do that.
But it's a valiant effort. You know?
You're going to have to. That's the only way to do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they know the winning formula. They know what it feels like to be in big moments. They know what it feels like to win a cup. They know what it feels like to come together and everyone kind of pull the rope and do, you know, all the cliche things that actually they really do matter. So you just got to find a way to break that, and that's probably it's going to be some timely goals and probably some really big goaltending.
Yeah. Well, Osh, let me bounce this one off you just as a thought starter for strategy for the Canes. But, you know, you guys famously played a shitload of Mario Kart on your way to the Cup.
True.
And I just think maybe the Canes need a video game. They need a team video game to get behind and bring the boys together. And I think Mario Kart fit your squad, your very lively, upbeat squad. That's a good Mario Kart game. I think the Canes maybe need something a little quieter. I can't think of a boring video game right now. I can think of one, actually.
Fuck you, dude. Bring up Harvest Moon again. Osh would like this game. I guarantee it. There's an N64 game called Harvest Moon that I loved, and literally, dude, the entire game was you were a little character, a little guy, and you inherit a farm from your grandfather who has passed away, and then you just have to like plant crops and raise cattle and make friends in the town, and then after 3 years, your dad comes and like judges you on how well the farm is doing.
See how many friends you have.
How many friends you have.
You would be best friends with my little brother. I got into Call of Duty big time.
Yeah.
COVID, big time, to where my wife was like, "You need to stop this.
Yeah,
You're
stop.
35 years old.
Your handicap's plummeting."
I watched my brother, and we'd like, you know, jump on, and he'd stream or whatever. He built his own monitor. He built his own computer. I don't know what.
Yeah, wow, sick.
Ledge.
Yeah, like all the lights and fans and all that cool stuff. And he would post his stream, and we would look, and it's literally just him driving a tractor in a field. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, yeah, I don't even know what farm terms are called. Like, he's been cutting down corn. He's like, I've been doing this for like 45 minutes. I'm like, just driving the tractor? He's like, yeah, it's so relaxing. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, dude, that is like, I was going to say that's psycho shit, but like, I'm not doing much different. Like, I'm out here playing an N64 game. At least that probably looked great. It's probably a nice tractor and a nice cornfield. I'm like borderline 2D here, just like planting strawberries and
watering them, dude.
eggplants.
He's like, oh, I'm out of water. I got to go refill my canteen with
That's
water.
literally part of the
And I'm
game.
like,
Like you
what?
eventually your watering can runs out and you have to like go to this water thing, fill it up, and then you can water them again. It's
just chores all day. He does chores all day.
it's just
I gotta get my hands on this thing. I think I'll give it a go.
dude. I'll send you videos of it. It actually, I feel your brother. It was relaxing.
Yeah.
And it's, you know what? It's nice to see progress. It was really nice to see, like, when you're putting chicken eggs in an incubator and then the next morning you walk into the chicken coop and there's a few more chickens hatched. That feels pretty good,
That's
guys.
awesome.
Just saying.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
And dude, I think you might have to put your brother in touch with the Canes, because like I think if they drive the tractor for 45 minutes, they're playing a little frenetic right now. If they drive the tractor for 45 minutes during their off days, I think they might relax out there.
They'll relax them a little bit. You got to get into the old school games. I feel like a lot of the kids these days, they're into like more of the new school stuff where you're just like alone in your room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta get where there's 4 controllers.
Yes, dude.
Get some GoldenEye going.
Oh, dude.
Get some Mario Kart.
Wait.
And
Osh, did we ever get into this? Were you guys doing Mario Kart on Wii or N64?
Oh, N64.
Yeah,
Old
Thank,
school.
yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure we knew
incredible.
that. Thank God. That's,
Yeah. I mean, I would go to bed at night at like 10, and my eyes would be completely red from like holding them open for so long on this. The graphics aren't great, and the graphics were made for small TVs, right?
Yeah, good point.
We're on a big, huge
Projector.
Like you can barely even see that it's Mario.
Oh,
It's just like you can see the individual squares on the screen. It's closer to like Minecraft or something.
yeah.
it's so true. Like Mario's hat is actually like a million squares that you can see so vividly.
Stairs.
It's a
around the
staircase.
square.
That is so good, dude.
Holy shit, that's so accurate, man. I feel so when we first moved out to LA, a buddy of ours used to fly out for Thanksgiving with us, and we used to get bombed and play start to finish Star Fox until we beat it on Thanksgiving night. And like,
what a game!
That was like full of Thanksgiving meal and a bunch of wine and beer, just playing Star Fox on a huge TV screen. It's like I can't think of worse health habits that was going on.
Dude, you know what I would get, Osh? You know how if you press if you press the A button to go, it's down. Like you've pressed A. Pressing A harder doesn't make you go faster in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
But dude, I would leave Mario Kart games with an A imprinted in my thumb. I was pushing so hard. And everyone's like, why are you doing
so hard?
I was like, I don't know. I'm just on the gas, dude. Stay on the gas.
Oh, for sure, dude. Like I've like broke controllers because I'm hammering my thumb through this.
I didn't in 2018. I didn't leave the team hotel one time in 2 months. I left after in between game 1 and game 2 in Vegas, but only because I was the best man at my friend's wedding, and I that was like the last day I could get a tux.
Yeah.
And so I
Wait. I thought you were about to say that the wedding was between game 1 and 2. I was like, what?
I needed to go. I just needed to get fitted. His bachelor party that I planned actually started the day on June 7th, the day we won. So it was like my brother's birthday, our best friend's wedding, or bachelor party. And so actually that night we were partying. We were at Hakkasan. I was going to jump on a flight, go meet the boys for like half a day in, where were they in California there? Anyways, they're in California. And then just fly back and meet the boys in DC later that night. But, they're like, don't do that. You're an idiot. Once you get here, you won't be able to leave. We'll be going crazy.
Yeah, that's so true.
That actually would have been so funny.
The only time I left the hotel because we were literally playing Mario Kart every day, all day. I even skipped a couple pregame naps, which like
that's crazy, actually, dude. Because that's your routine.
Was anyone on the team skipping with you, or were you like playing solo Grand Prix here?
I think Niskanen had like a short nap and then came down and joined me one day. But I mean, it was kind of embarrassing. Honestly.
You know how you can like race your ghost, like they save like your fastest lap, like Osh's Wario just ripping around, just trying to catch the ghost.
I love the idea that like Lauren catches Osh playing too much Call of Duty, and then he just trades it in for playing Mario Kart 64 on a 75-inch TV screen. She's like, "Well, this is better, I guess."
Yeah.
So whatever.
I fucking love that, dude.
Apparently, it's not a big turn on to be a little gamer at age 35.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'll come back around. It'll become cool again.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, pal. Alice is going to find out I play Harvest Moon now, and things are going to get off the rails real fucking quick.
And we're dead. And we're absolutely dead.
Oh, my God. All right, so we got tomorrow night, boys, Game 2, Florida, Carolina.
Yeah.
What are your predictions for the game?
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills at this point, but I've been the one going, the Canes are different this year. The Canes are different this year. And everyone's like, you'll see, you'll see. And then after game 1, I was like, oh, fuck. So I got to just stay crazy, I think. And to me, if Carolina loses game 2 at home, where they were 31 wins at home the regular season, most wins in the league at home, hadn't lost at home all playoffs. If they lose game 2 at home, I got to believe they know they're dead. So this is desperation mode. So I'm willing to get crazy one more time and say they fight back and win game 2.
Osh?
Man. I think it's going to look a little bit like tonight's game. I think Carolina is going to get up.
Yeah, fuck, this is a good
Up too early, and I think Florida's going to come back in the end and win it.
Oh, Jesus.
God, Bob looks great again, dude.
Osh, that would be so backbreaking for them.
So devastating, I know. I don't know what that means for the rest of the series. It doesn't look good. I personally would like to see everything go 7 games and everyone beat the hell out of each other, personally.
Yeah. But because fuck the Carolina Hurricanes, dude. I hate you forever.
Yeah. I hate them forever. So, sorry. Guys.
Dude, what happens if they get swept? Like, actually, if they get swept
Wait,
again?
do you guys not care what I think?
I do, but I just want this thought first.
I think you're probably looking at a big change, 1 or 2 kind of big changes.
Yeah.
Just because people get restless, right?
Of course.
When you have a good team, you get restless.
3 Eastern Conference Finals in 4 years, swept in all 3 is what are we talking about here? We got to do something.
It's exactly what I said. Like I was talking to a buddy the other day about it, and he was like, "Nah, like Rod will never be fired." And a good point. He was like, "You won't find someone better for this team and franchise." But at the end of the day, it's like if you go 0-12 in 8 years, it's less than that, frankly, in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't care if you're not going to find someone better. You have to find someone different.
Yeah,
it's just, I mean, it's not working. And yeah, I'm with Osh. I don't know if it's going to be up and down, but I think Florida wins. I think Florida wins because I actually don't think Carolina's back is truly against the wall yet. It is when you go to Sunrise down 0-2. But that's the thing. It's the same with this Oilers team. The Oilers and the Panthers are so similar. If this Panthers team smells blood, it's like it's over.
Yeah.
And there's already blood in the water. So I think they win.
If you had to redo, you said Cats in 7 before it started. If you had to redo that right now, what would you say?
I don't want to answer that because that game was too bad to react to it. Give me a second game and then I'll react.
And then you'll know it's Cats in 4.
I have a question for you guys. Do you think so? If that did happen, right? If there needed to be a change,
Yeah.
I just kind of thought about this. They will be, the 4th best team in the league.
Yeah.
Right? So there's 27 other teams that wishes they were
The Canes.
where they are.
Yeah.
So to make a big change, granted the fans, you always want more. But there's 27 other teams that would rather be in the spot they're in.
Such a great point.
I know, and it's kind of like what you were talking about with the lines earlier, where you're like, there's no need to explode this thing that's working most of the time. We know this works almost all the time. Yeah, we're in a rough patch, but like, do we rip the line apart? Do we fire our coach? It's like, dude, like you said, we're the 4th best team in the league. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a fucking good point. And at the end of the day, even if they do get swept, Rod won't be fired.
Correct.
He won't be fired. And I'm not saying I think he should be. And I hate to say this because he's been so good. And shit, against you guys, Freddie was phenomenal.
Insane.
Phenomenal. But it's like he has a tough game 1. We'll see how game 2 goes. But if that goes poorly, 3 and 4 go poorly, you do wonder, man. You look at that Carolina team and that defense, and no disrespect to Freddie, but if you put like an LT all season in front of them, or just someone who's a little bit fresher, does that make the difference? Because maybe that is the thing in this Rod era that we haven't seen. We haven't seen a certified blue chip goalie on that team. Yeah. Maybe that's the big change. But I'm with you. I think the big change does have to happen. What change it is, I don't know, but we'll see.
Yep. Okay, now overreact to game 1 of this series. Like what I had picked Stars in 7, and I guess I would say, because I actually thought that game looked great for Edmonton for a long stretch of it. So I think I would just keep my pick. I would remain Stars in 7, but I don't feel bad at all if I'm an Oilers fan right now.
I mean, I texted you guys, and I was like, I hadn't even seen the Stars have like possession of the puck towards the end
until
of the
the third period. That was a fact. Yeah,
dude, 100%.
And they were in the finals last year. I mean, I don't really have any overreactions for the game. I mean, I think the Stars are pretty happy right now that they were able to find a way to win that game. Yeah. But I don't think Edmonton is
not sweating at all.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't think there's a reason for Edmonton, the team or the fans, to be rattled in the slightest. At the end of the day, the home team won,
held serve,
and they got outplayed in 2 of 3 periods.
Yeah.
And the one thing, as always, is Skinner.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing is if you're like, Skinner coming off 2 shutouts.
Yeah, dude.
Let's in 5. That's the one thing you're like, keep an eye on that. But yeah, because you guys know if we're talking here in 2 days and Edmonton beats the wheels off Dallas at home, you're like, yep. And now Edmonton's in the driver's seat. So,
dude, you know what I actually thought was sneaky in that game, Osh? I don't know if you were watching yet, but the Sagan goal to tie it was Edmonton was controlling the play, and they just turned that one over at the blue line. Sagan's got the breakaway. I think that was actually a massive goal just to see one by Skinner, because he was going on 7 periods of shutout hockey, and you didn't want to go to the room like, Jesus Christ, dude, nobody can score on Stuart Skinner. Just getting that one, even though they went down but 2 immediately, I still thought that was an important goal, because I imagine that does get in your guys' heads a little bit if a goalie's on a heater like that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when a goalie's on a heater, you're just like, like we were talking about earlier, you start second guessing what you do. You start thinking you have to do something that maybe you're not comfortable doing. Great shot by Segs. I mean, to tuck that in there, just like a quick little low glove. I would have put money that he was going to be deking that somehow.
Me too, dude.
So
that's why we're not goalies, dude. That's why we're not goalies.
Pretty good.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah. I have a question. What happens if it's the same finals as last year?
What's the prediction?
And Florida wins again. What does Edmonton do?
Dude, if the Panthers win, because
I know exactly what they do. Well, first of all, the city of Edmonton burns itself to the ground.
They're so
down to the pavement.
Yeah.
I think they do a massive roster shake. Excuse me.
No way.
I think they do a big roster shakeup in certain areas. I think Stu Skinner is gone.
Yep.
Gone. And I think that they find a way to unload Nurse. Like, it's been done, but I think they do some significant things.
It's especially if it's handily, if it's a 7-gamer again, we can talk. But I felt like last year should have been quicker from Florida. Like I couldn't believe that got to 7. So if Florida were to win in 5 or 6 even this year comfortably, game 6 blowout, I think you might be right.
Yeah.
The tricky one is Knobloch, because he's
fine.
He's been great.
His job is fine no matter what.
I think you're right, because they're this far.
His job's fine no matter what.
But could Connor leave? Could Connor leave?
Get out of here.
Wayne left.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
But his best friend just signed an 8-year deal.
That
is literally that's the factor. He cares. I think those two love each other so much that they'll never leave each other.
Wasn't Mess Wayne's best friend?
Fuck. Great point, dude. Fuck you.
Fuck.
Great point.
I think we might just be in like a little matrix here.
We're in a time loop.
We might be in a full-on time loop.
We're in a time loop. The Kings got McDavid. That is sick.
Could you imagine if, actually, we talked about it today, Osh, could you could you picture a bigger villain moment on earth? We were comparing it to LeBron, like the first era of Cleveland LeBron, where he bailed and went to Miami. We had the decision going on. Could you imagine the villain arc if McDavid left Edmonton and went to Florida?
If they beat them again this year and then he joins the Panthers next year?
Would it even be possible?
I don't. Well, I mean, I suppose he could sign anywhere. If he plays next year with Edmonton and then is a UFA and doesn't re-sign and then he just signs in Florida, I think the entire city of Edmonton would do whatever they could to destroy that man for the rest of their existence.
Florida's got a lot of cap room, actually. Just say it. Just
something to think about.
I don't know.
Something to think about. But while we're on the topic, one more thing before we get into into a game to close us out. We kind of referenced, you were talking about the benches kind of losing it, going at each other. We saw Toronto lose again. The big question goes to Mitch Marner now. If you're, you don't have to get too into it, but if you're Mitch Marner, do you leave that city? Do you go somewhere else? Do you try to find fresher pastures, or what are you feeling in that situation?
I don't know where their locker room situation is at.
Good call.
So, I mean, maybe I don't know. I can never get over a jersey on the floor or on a fan thrown on the, you know what I mean? And so,
dude, you are preaching to the choir. If there's one thing I'll get in the mud with people on Twitter about is burning jerseys. Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's the dumbest thing. So I don't know. I mean, obviously it's an FU to the team, right? To throw a jersey on the ice or to burn jerseys or whatever it is. But really it just makes them more pissed off and they'll hate you. So if they wanted to run them out, that's probably the way to do it.
I mean, he got booed off the ice.
I wouldn't want to play anywhere where if someone threw my jersey down, I'd be like, dude, to hell with these people.
Yep.
I'm gone.
It's honestly as simple as that for me. And could you imagine how much of a mic drop it would be? Let's say he signed somewhere else and he were to get asked the question, you're a Toronto boy, you played here your whole career, how could you leave? He could so easily just go, how many times have I seen my jersey burned by fans? Right, dude. That's why I left. You would have no follow-up. Yep. You'd be like, yep, fair.
No,
I'm
so with you guys. I think he is gone for sure, but I wouldn't even be entertaining it. I don't think. Like, even if they were like, dude, we'll make it work on cap. We'll throw you Matthews money. Tavares is gone, whatever. I'd be like, I'm good, dude. I don't need to be here anymore.
Yeah. The only thing that keeps him is if the locker room's tight and there's a bond there, you can get over that other stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess he's going to get paid somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure he can find another good
and McDavid's leaving his best friend to go to the Kings. Certainly Marner could leave his best buds. Fuck, friendship's dead, dude.
Yeah, Marner leaves. He's like, you think this is bad? Wait till next summer, dude.
Yeah, dude. Friendship's dead, dude. What
are the Kings going to give up? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, right, dude.
Oh, my God. It would be a lot. I'll tell you that much. But, I mean, could you imagine, though? I can't even get over being the GM if you traded McDavid.
Yep.
We can't even talk about this. They're in the middle of the Western Conference Final right now.
It'll never happen.
We'll talk about this later. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break, then we're going to get into a fun game. Perfect time to take a break and talk about the most delicious, most refreshing, crispest beer on the planet. That is Labatt Blue. Whether you are sitting at the bar watching the game, whether you're at home, you're opening the fridge, maybe you're at a cookout because it's getting nice outside, folks, and you pop that cooler open, the only beer you want to see is a Labatt Blue or a Labatt Blue Light because it's hockey's favorite beer, it's the Empty Netter's favorite beer, and it's got to be your favorite beer as well. Each pint, each bottle, each can of Labatt Blue is brewed with Canadian kindness, and we all know that is the best kindness in the game. Those bubbles, that crispiness, I can't get over it. Every time I take a sip of Labatt, I just feel like a waterfall is just splashing over me. I feel like the sun is shining. It just gives me that breath of life. It's unbelievable, and I want you to feel it too. So let's just crack open a Labatt together. Let's watch some playoff hockey together, and let's feel better than we've ever felt before. Labatt Blue is delivering that to us every single time you take a sip. So crack open a Labatt today and enjoy yourself.
Okay, huge thank you to our sponsors. And Dan, Tell us what game we're playing this week.
All right, so Osh, we're going to close this episode out with a fun game. This one is called Connective Tissue. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you and CP the bio of 2 players, and their names connect each other. So an example would be, do you have one off the top of your head that we've done in the past?
We did Duncan Keith and Keith Kachuk. So it's like Duncan Keith Kachuk.
Okay.
So the clue for you guys would be like some stuff about Duncan Keith and then some stuff about Keith Kachuk, and you guys have to figure out that it's Duncan Keith Kachuk.
And sometimes Dan gets...
I'm going to be relying on you heavy.
Dude, Dan gets fucked with this too, because he did Brandon Carlo and then Logan Couture. So it was like Brandon Logan Couture. And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. So,
but I on good authority, you know both of these guys.
Okay.
Osh, so no worries.
Okay, hit us, Dan.
All right, here's the bio, boys. A top 10 draft pick in the late 80s, this player went on to have an elite NHL career as an electric two-way forward, making 9 All-Star games and becoming one of only 4 American-born players to reach 500 goals.
Okay.
That's player 1.
Fuck.
Where he then spent 20 years over the 90s and early 2000s with the same club, where he won 4 Stanley Cups and became unanimously known as one of the best to ever play his position.
Okay. So the first guy...
Wait, was that 2 people?
Yeah. The first guy is one of 4 Americans to ever score 500 goals. We have to get that.
Madonna, Roenick.
Did Keith
Hull?
do it? Oh, Hull. Fuck. Good one. Okay, so Brett Hull, Madonna, Roenick, and... Did Keith do it? You can't tell me. Maybe Keith Kachuk did it. And then the second guy played 20 years on the same team and won 4 cups. Mm-hmm. Did you say what era?
Across the 90s and early 2000s.
Some guy in the 90s and 2000s played 20 years and won 4 cups.
I'll throw you a bone. Keith Kachuk is the 4th.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Nice.
So the first guy is one of those 4 guys. The first name is one of those 4 guys.
Well, one of the last name goes into the second name.
Yeah. And he won 4 cups, 20 years. Who the fuck played 20 years?
Can we get a quick reread on the second?
Reread the second half.
Of course. The second guy, he spent 20 years with the same club over the 90s and early 2000s, won 4 Stanley Cups, and became unanimously known as one of the best players to ever play his position.
So he's a legend. He's like incredibly good.
Unanimously known, guys.
20 years, 4 cups. Who was winning cups then in the 2000? The Devils?
Now you boys are thinking.
The Devils won a few.
I mean, I didn't start watching hockey until like 3 years ago.
Maybe like
I'll help you out. Unanimously known as one of the best defensemen to ever play.
Okay. So Scott Stevens maybe, but we already did him. Who's okay? If it was Kachuk, I guess it could be a Chuck. That's actually very interesting. That's very you. Who'd you else you say? Oh, Hull, but that's probably not a Hull. And then Madonna. Okay, Mike Madonna. Somebody. You said what was the hint you just gave?
He played defense.
Okay, who are the best defensemen from the 2000s, Osh?
2000s?
No, not 2000s. The best defenseman ever.
Ever.
Best defenseman ever. Okay, Bork. Coffee,
think about the era I gave you guys.
Bork, Coffee, too old. 2000s. Best defenseman ever played in the 2000s.
90s and 2000s, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Lindstrom?
Oh, dude. Yeah, dude, you did it. Come on. Okay, so I bet the first one is Jeremy Roenick. Yes, Osh. Fuck yeah, dude.
Well done, Osh.
God, that was big.
Well done.
That was really big. I forgot Roenick. Dude.
Jeremy Nicholas Lidstrom.
Jeremy Nicholas Lindstrom is a great player.
Huge.
What a player.
God, what a pull, dude. That was big. We needed that.
I'm super, super proud of us.
Yeah, that was really, you guys were drowning a little bit there, and then you really pulled it together. Also, just in looking up the quick bios, I always forget, it is ridiculous ridiculous that Nicholas Lidstrom has 7 Norris trophies.
Dude, weren't a ton of them in a row? Like, I think he
yeah.
won several in a
It's
row.
like him and Bobby Orr. I think Bobby won 6 in a row and Nick won 5. It's
That's
just
crazy.
what a clown show. Unbelievable.
I played against him for a couple of years, and let me tell you, he was good. I remember this one game, I chipped 3 pucks in.
Yeah.
And the whole team was like, Osh, when you go against him, just get it deep. Don't even try. Don't try anything. Don't try your little toe drag stuff. Just get it
you
deep.
bitch. Yeah.
3 in a row. Chipped it deep, knocked it down out of the air, sauced it across the ice.
Yep.
Like Datsuk and Zetterberg.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? One of them was like a shot. And he's still just like,
It's a hard rim.
down. I was like, okay.
I might as well try to toe drag him.
Dude, the
like,
best-
I can't get the chip past him.
The best part about that story is he was like 37 years old when he was doing that.
It was so good.
Yeah.
God, that is
Jesus
so sick.
Christ.
Good for him.
All right, beautiful stuff, boys. Beautiful episode. That's going to wrap it up for us at the Empty Netters podcast. Osh, thanks for popping on. We'll be seeing much more of you. Huge game for Dallas. Big games tomorrow. The conference finals roll on. We'll be watching it all, doing it all. Great hangs. CP, tell them what to do.
Skate hard.